Hollow Knight, a classic and beloved Metroidvania known for its gorgeous scenery, captivating story, and daunting challenges. One of its most daunting is Steel Soul, a game mode only accessible after completing the game for the first time. Steel Soul ensures that for the rest of your playthrough you will only ever have one life, meaning one spike enemy or boss, no matter how far you are or how hard you fought, can send you crawling out of King's Pass yet again. Such a challenge is only reserved for the best of Hollow Knight players, that of which I am not. This is my second playthrough of the game, and I am just as surprised as you are that I managed to do this on my first attempt without dying a single time. It's pretty easy that I could have simply reset and not shown any of my deaths, but you need to understand that I am not the kind of person who has a lot of patience. If I were to have died a lot later on in this challenge, I would not have continued on and forgotten about this project entirely. I am just as surprised as you are, if not more. Before we continue, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe. It is completely free, it does not affect you in any way, and helps out a ton for my little channel, as I've never made content like this, neither of quality or length, so your support is greatly appreciated. Whether you do or don't is your choice, but begging out of the way, let's continue on, explaining exactly what is needed for 112% completion of Hollow Knight. For 112% completion, I'll need to save every grub, collect every charm, every vessel fragment, and mask shard, every key item, defeat every boss, dream variant, or spirit warrior, and of course, the Colosseum and the main 4 pantheons. I would like to note now, the only boss I did not fight was Grey Prince Zote due to the fact that he stinks and no one likes him. Without further ado, let's get into my Steel Soul playthrough. My adventure begins in King's Pass, Hollow Knight's starting area. I'm not sure what else you expected here, but here it is. Right from the bat, however, I unlock a little secret area with a tiny geode node. Now, geode is this game's currency, and I'll be needing a lot of it for this challenge, as geo is used for purchasing all sorts of knickknacks and doodads like charms and lots of other resources. Speaking of charms, I managed to collect my first one here, being Fury of the Fallen. Taking its effects only activate whenever you're on one mask. In a Steel Soul playthrough, unless you're incredibly skilled, it's not really worth using, as the risk does not fit to the expectations of its reward. I jumped down after somehow breaking a giant stone door with my nail, ready to explore Hollowness in all its glory and terror. It's here that I discovered Dirtmouth, the fading town and the home of the living fossil Elderbug, who I pay no mind to. I look over at Cornifer's house, but the guilt of ignoring Elderbugs is too much for me, and I throw myself down the nearest well because it's what I deserve. Instead of drowning in the 40 feet of water that you'd expect to be at the bottom of a well, I find some crossroads that seem rather forgotten. Awful jokes that aren't scripted because I don't have a script aside, we encounter our first mini-boss styled enemy, the Husk Guard. He's not a necessarily hard fight, he's very well telegraphed, and sure, he can deal 2 damage, but that's not gonna happen. And if it does, just don't let that happen. Defeating the Husk Guard gives us quite a little chunk of change and allows us to save our first grab, which I rightfully named Gibby. With Gibby saved, I stab a Vengefly on a spike and do this really cool parkour to save Gibble, as well as meet Cornifer for the very first time, that absolute G, the cartographer, which I purchased the map from. Satisfying jingles aside, I listen to what Cornifer has left to say. He mentions about his wife Iselda and the promise of a compass, which I'm really excited for because I get lost very easily. I save yet another grub and take a nice deserving bath in some acid before deciding to fight Gruzmother, which is probably one of the most dangerous bosses in any Steel Soul playthrough, not because she's hard, but because dying to her will shame you, your family, and thousands of future generations for millions of years to come. We quickly prove that we're not short kings, but instead 5'6" chads, and defeat her on our very first attempt, as you would have expected. I'm not dying to this freak. We witnessed the miracle of childbirth and quickly put these things in their place in the food chain. No one wants to live their life as a pathetic little fly, so we're honestly doing these things a favor. After a bit more exploration, we encounter our first stag station. Stag stations act as this game's fast travel. It has a bench, you have to pay a small toll to use it, and it's very useful actually. I don't use it this time, however, there's nowhere I can go. We enter a suspiciously open room, and as you can guess, we encounter our second boss, the False Knight. Now, the False Knight has a unique gimmick. You don't collect soul from him until you break through his defenses, which, honestly, that's not that big of a deal. He's very easy to beat and incredibly choreographed, so if I can do it, you can do it. I believe in you guys. Good luck out there. After throwing a little temper tantrum, Tubby breaks through the floor, allowing us to jump down and finish the job. I do feel bad doing this after hearing about the maggots lore, as they're the weakest creatures in all of Hallownest. This armor allowed him to feel special inside. Now he's special outside, everywhere, all over the arena. I pick up the city crest, an important item for later, go over to my treasure chest to collect all my Geo, and of course, obtain my very first spell from the snail shaman right next door. With Vengeful Spirit acquired, I kill this roly-poly armadillo-looking thing and collect Soul Catcher, a pretty nice charm early game as it allows me to collect, you guessed it, more soul. I head over to Greenpath next and absolutely psych you goobers out. I head on over to the Brooding Moloch Arena to show my absolute skill. This is a very easy skip and doesn't change too much gameplay-wise, and I highly recommend you do it. Brooding Moloch is a very easy boss fight. It's secretive, and you're not meant to fight it until after Mantis Lords. Because, well, of course, you're supposed to have the Mantis Claw to get to the arena. It's not a hard fight. I think you could do it. As long as you use your Vengeful Spirits smart and intelligently, that doesn't make sense, you'll kill it pretty quickly. That was an awful cut, wasn't it? I don't care. Mask Shard, baby. Woohoo! I defeat the Greenpath Elder Balder, yes, I do remember its name, and head over to one of my, if not the most favorite area of all of Hollow Knight in my opinion, Greenpath. Why do I like it so much? It's green, it's a path, and the best of all, the music. Oh, the music, it's so good, I love the music, it's such a good song! Sorry about that little freak out. I encounter a Hornet, or as you might know her, Silksong! I attempt to skip and fail at it because I suck, and go over to Cornifer to cry about it. I do also purchase a mat from him because he's just that kind of guy. I love him so much. Cool grub skip. It's cool. Like it. You know you do. Ghibli is saved. I save yet another grub. I walk past because there's nothing for me here. Don't need to save Zote. But the guilt catches up to me and I eventually go back to save him. My goat Zote the goat. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it, and that's all that matters. Stupid Vengefly Kings obliterated aside, I encounter my second stag station, pay the toll, and of course, go, speak, and meet Hornet. Due to the dumb way I said that, Hornet challenges me to a battle which I gladly accept. Hornet is a very simple fight. Again, like the failed champion, she's incredibly choreographed, but she can't catch you off guard with her Gales, Shaws, and Adidas. The fight is over rather quickly, as I easily expected. I mean, it's first Hornet. I'm a little too good at this game now. But defeating Hornet and watching her zip away on that cool zipline I wish I had, I encounter, or I guess obtain, my next movement accessory, Mothwing Cloak. I meet Hera the Beast, Monomon the Teacher, and Lurian the Watcher, and then suddenly get flashbang. Oh my! Next boss on the list is the massive Moss Chargers. Try saying that 3 times fast, I bet you can't. This boss is incredibly difficult and very hard in my opinion, and oh. Wait, no, it's dead. Sorry. I then make my way down to the mystical minefield known as the Fog Canyon, filled with these stupid little jellyfish that just seem to always like to explode. I'm too good for this game though, and I don't blow up a single time. I then move on to Queen's Station, home of yet another stag station, and where we first meet the absolute second goat of this game, Quirrell. He's a G, you'll see why in just a little bit. I, as you could expect, pay the toll for my next stag station and head on over to my next location. Absolute bars, alright? I jump a bit and dash on over here and I encounter the next area, as I said before, the Fungal Wastes. A very fun place for a guy like me. I'm gonna stop trying to script jokes that don't exist. I buy another map, buy a compass for the first time, I should have done this a long time ago, and the quill, as well as a bunch of other random junk that I don't have a script to say, and I got no clue, so I'm going on with whatever I'm looking at visually. I buy long nail. Yep, that's what I do. And a charm notch. Don't forget about the charm notch. Back in the Fungal Waste, I pay a visit to my good pal Leg Eater. Why is he called Leg Eater? I think it's self-explanatory. He probably eats arms. I pay for him to show me what he wants me to buy for some reason, and I purchase the Fragile Strength Charm. An incredibly good... Don't buy that. I said Fragile Strength. Thank you. I buy Fragile Strength, an incredibly good charm because they only break when you die, and as you could expect, dying doesn't matter in a Steel Soul playthrough because you only get one life. I challenge another mini-boss styled enemy that I think they're called the Mushroom Ogres. I don't know why they're called ogres, they're just fat mushrooms that like to concuss themselves. Well, I mean, they're kind of dead really easily, and I get another charm notch. This will be important for later. Exploring deeper in the Fungal Wastes, I discover the Mantis Village, the home of my next movement upgrade, the Mantis Claw. As it says right there in the little description, the Mantis Claw allows me to jump off of walls, which allows me to get these little geonodes right here. Boss fight time! That's right, I'm challenging the Mantis Lords. Probably one of my favorite boss fights in this game. Not only because it's just really fun, I love the music. As you can tell from the beginning of this video, this is the song I used in my intro. The Mantis Lords are pretty choreographed, though they can't catch you off guard if you don't understand what they're about to do. I managed to take down the first one and then move on to the next two that challenge me at the exact same time. Now there are some cheesable spots in this, like you saw right there. If you need to heal, I recommend doing it at that interval and not any other time. I take down one Mantis Lord and quickly follow up with the next one, ending off this fight for good. Defeating the final Mantis Lord sends her jumping back to her throne along with her three sisters. We all bow in respect to each other. It's only common courtesy, right? I obtain the Mark of Pride charm and kill the stupid mantis that shut the gate on me earlier. I get a lot of Geo from this chest and then do the unthinkable. I go to Grub Home, where I encounter Grubfather and his countless little children that I've already saved and see all the empty olives that I have to put more in. I purchased the Lumafly Lantern from Sly as well as another Mask Shard. This is important because I need all of them and he does sell quite a bit. This allows me another mask, which if you don't know, is another hit that I can take. I'm still not invincible though. Head back over to the Fungal Waste, get slapped by this stupid, dumb, stupid mushroom, and do my parkour that nobody should ever question its skill. I jump over seamlessly to the other side, jump down whatever this is, I don't know how these things are floating, and hit a lever. I insert the city crest from the False Knight earlier into this statue, which opens the gate to the City of Tears. One of my favorite locations in all of Hollow Nest due to its beauty, the music it has, but it's not as good as Green Path. It's almost there though, just a little bit below. I don't know what I'm rambling on about. You know, I'd really appreciate it if Hornet or someone would jump in and distract me and stop me from blabbing on even more. Hornet, please, Hornet, just show up! Thank you, Hornet, for interrupting me. I was gonna keep doing that until you showed up, so I'm glad you showed up pretty early on, and oh. Yeah, I forgot, that door's locked. I'll have to open that on the other side later on. I jump down a hole that you didn't see me go into and encounter Lemon, or as his real name is, Lem. He's a relic seeker. You find relics scattered around Hollow Nest and you give it to him for Geo. It's pretty useful, especially when you get those expensive kinds in the future. I head over to the left and find the blacksmith, or as you might know him, the nailsmith. Now, the nailsmith, for a price of geo and later on some pale ore, can upgrade your nails' damage, which is exceptionally good in a game about killing things. He also gives you a pretty sick animation, which I'm going to make you watch every time I upgrade my nail. With my newly upgraded nail, I head over to the Soul Sanctum, my next area of exploration, because of course it is. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Now, the Soul Sanctum does, in my opinion, have some threats to a Steel Soul playthrough. The enemies are kind of annoying here, and they can get you a lot more than you'd expect. They're not super high damage enemies, they all do 1. But it's more of the catch you off guard factor that's the problem. Oh, this arena. Yeah, this is the Soul Warrior. Now, I get why he might be a little hard. He's a little challenging in certain circumstances, but I've fought this guy way too many times for him to be an actual threat. So, bibbidi bobbidi boo, he's dead. And I can continue on to a boss worthy of talking about. The boss in question is none other than the Soul Master himself. This boss can be pretty challenging to new players. He's got a plethora of attacks, and he's not always the most choreographed. He teleports often, has plentiful attacks, from simple ranged ones to dashes. Attack him enough, and he's pretty easy to defeat. There's nothing left to do here, right? Just let him die, and collect your Desolate Dive, right? There it is. There's the Desolate Dive. And no, you thought, right? You got psyched out the first time. Don't act like you didn't. Really nice tip for this part. Dodge. I know, it's such a useful tip, right? But it is, honestly. If you dodge enough, he'll eventually stop to shoot little soul balls at you. When he does this, attack him. You can clear him out in one cycle if you're quick enough. Defeating the Soul Tyrant, of course, actually allows your next spell, Desolate Dive. I obtain a Vessel Fragment. I don't know why, but it's kind of random I do this. I then head over to Salubra's shop, buy a Charm Notch, buy Quick Focus, Steady Body, Lifeblood, and the Shaman Stone, and go over to Crystal Peaks. I pay for a toll and fall into some spikes. I do some really cool little conveyor belt puzzles, because of course I do. I'm just that good. I never die in these things. You'll never once see me do that. Not once. I save this little grub here and meet my goat Cornifer again to purchase yet again another map. Who would have guessed? I then go over to the Crusher area. Now I don't get why YouTubers always say this area is such a difficult spot. I never get crushed here. Honestly, it's pretty easy. Get the timing right, don't do anything dumb, and you'll be perfectly fine. See? Just like that. Simple as anything could ever be. First try. What do you mean it wasn't first try? You're insane. You're going crazy. That was first try. I don't know why I'm blabbering on. This isn't even the same segment. Laser crabs. I do a nice parkour section. You can 100% bet that I'm not failing this once. That's going to be perfect the clean way through. It's going to be... I get Crystal Dash, okay? That's what matters. Crystal Heart, not Crystal Dash. Just let me have this win. Using my newly found power, I jump over this spike, I guess, and then go over again to... Okay. I go over yet again. Okay. And I obtain the worst charm in this game, Deep Focus. It sucks, don't use this. I then head on over to this little bench, see this goober sleeping on it, and slap him a good time. Good time? Good few times. Well, he's dead. I mean, well, not dead yet. Now he's dead. Yep, there we go. Ah, Shopkeeper's Key. I'll give this to Sly next time I go over to... Okay, it's going too fast! It's going too fast! I go ahead and get rid of this stupid elevator, and then Crystal Dash on over to King's Pass. Though it is the starting area, there's something I have to do here. I don't know what this segment is. Oh, that's what it was. I head on over to where I first landed, where I found the little secret stash of Geo, and climb up using the Mantis Claw. I could have gotten here a lot earlier, but I just didn't because I didn't want to. I should have come later, actually. Now I'm in the Howling Cliffs, a very desolate and empty spot of Hallownest, a place that I don't really enjoy because it's boring. However, this is where I meet my first Nail Master. Really cool guy. I love these guys. They're pretty cool. Nail Master Matto, I'll have a good time talking with you later. Whenever you fight me. In the Pantheon of Champions. This is where I learn the Master Art. Shut up. Shut up and watch it. Shut up and watch the cutscene. You know you like it. Cyclone Slash. The first of 3. Cornifer. Another beautiful butterfly land. I obtain a charm here. And this charm is none other than Yoni's Blessing. Speed up. Elegant Key. Mask Shard. Ta-da! Mask Shard. Ta-da! Rancid Egg. Womp womp. Stalwart Shell. I get Grub Song. Pretty nice charm if you're not good at this game, and I encounter the saddest part of any Hollow Knight experience. Having to kill Mia. I'm sorry, little one. Please forgive me for what I'm about to do. Why? Oh, hello, Lamb. Yeah, take these stupid journals. I don't want them anymore. I had to kill a poor little bug. Please take me away from all this pain. I throw myself in the sewers. I deserve it after what I just did. She didn't deserve to die. To obtain my next map, I have to kill a whole bunch of these stupid pufferfish things. Killing the last one, I can get my Royal Waterways map and head over to this super cool sliding section, which you can already guess, I don't fail at once. I save Bretta. She's mind controlled, I guess? She's under the impression of the infection, something I wasn't able to save Mia from, but I will save Bretta from. Then head over to the far right side of the Royal Waterways and encounter my next boss fight. You know who it is. I know who it is. The Dung Defender! The Dung Defender is certainly where difficulty in boss fights starts to really ramp up. He's quite challenging, actually, for those of you who don't know how to fight him. I wouldn't be surprised if you died a few times to him. I'm just juggling him around, something that he's very weak to. He should really work on getting juggled, but he never does. Now freaking out section, he's just kind of dashing out of the ground. It's not too hard to dodge, it's very choreographed, but the fight's over pretty quickly, as you can expect, because I juggle him yet again. And even in defeat, he's still in a jolly mood. You gotta love the man for that. He's always so jolly and cheery. I get the Defender's Crest charm from him and continue on with my life as he buries away in the dirt. Guess it's not dirt though. Back in the City of Tears, I take a hard right for some reason and enter the King's Station, where I kill a bunch of these nobles. And this golden noble, I don't know why that's there. I get another stag station. That's what matters. I tried this cool thing, I do succeed, and obtain another relic. I would like to note now that relics are not required for 112% completion, but are instead just something you can get. I get another mask shard in Bretta's house. And I sit next to her. Hey there, girl. How's it been? Dr. Sly again. Buy another mask shard, because it's 15,000. Not 15,000, you idiot. It's 150. What? It's 1,500. As well as a Vestal Fragment. There you go. I also buy Sprint Master. Too many people hate on this charm. I love it. And then carry on to kill more nobles, and then suddenly get jumped by a bunch of people with swords. They're no match for me, however, because guess what? I played this game before, and I knew that they were gonna try this. editor's note. Technically, it's not an editor's note at all. I'm just recording this now. I completely forgot that happened, and I got really scared for a second because I thought I was gonna die. Honesty is the best policy. I head on over to a place I should have gone to a very long time ago and meet the Dreamers yet again, being Monomon the teacher, Lurian the watcher, and Hera the beast who, of course, flashbang me. They send me to Bug Purgatory, a place outside of life and death and awakeness and dream. I dash and fall because I forget. Patience is a virtue, good things come to those who wait, and that good thing, in this instance, is Seer, who gives us a pathway to leave this place. I'm sure Seer is very important lore-wise, but I don't know much about her. All I know is that she allows us to get the Dream Nail, a very important tool that we need to kill the Dreamers from the inside out. Waking up from Bug Oratory, we finally see Seer in person, who's now a little old moth lady. You can bring essence to Seer that you get from dream fights, spirit warriors, and just kind of collecting them from spirit trees, that of which I just despise getting. That allows you little upgrades to yourself and your Dream Nail, which at one point will allow you to teleport. I head on over to our first Spirit Warrior. I know they're not called Spirit Warriors. I call them that because it's cool. Our first fight with them is Zero. Pretty easy fight. Not too dangerous, choreographed as most bosses are. A thing that I'm not sure many people know is that these guys actually scale in danger depending on your nails damage and upgrade. So I guess they're just as dangerous as you are. Do what you will with that information. Talking to Zero, we hear his sad sob story. Don't know why I said it like that. And obtain 100 essence. Holy stutter! I then begin heading down into a dark, spiky pit, or chasm, I suppose you could say. Maybe a shaft. Looks like it would have been an elevator shaft, taking the fact there was a broken elevator at the bottom. You know, that would make the most sense. Needless blabbering aside, because I really should have made a script for this video, I finally enter the Ancient Basin for real, home to these dumb little roly-polies and lesser Moleks. I buy a map from Cornifer and fight said lesser Moleks. They're not hard, they're just dumb little spider creatures, so there's nothing I can't handle. Defeating them, however, allows me my first bit of pale ore. I head back into the Royal Waterways because I want to obtain an upgrade. A very useful one, especially for those little nerds out there who tend to always fall in acid. Isma's Tear is what you need, because Isma's Tear allows you to not take damage when falling in acid. With the earlier pale ore and 800 Geo, I'm allowed to upgrade my nail once again. Now I feel unstoppable, and with this unstoppable feeling, I head up to Kingdom's Edge, buy a map, and then head over to Green Path, whatever the reason. The reason why I'm back here is because I want to talk to Paint Master Shio, another one of the Nail Masters, so I can obtain the Great Slash. Very useful and very nice attack. It does quite a lot of damage. I highly recommend you get this early on. As promised, Nail Master Shio, alone in his little hidden away area amongst all the thorns in Green Path, I accidentally say no, and then quickly learn from my mistake. I say yes this time. Aren't you proud of me? And from here on out, I learn the Great Slash attack. Now, I'll be completely honest, I have no clue how I got here, but my final spell, Howling Wraiths, a really high damage spell if you know how to use it. I head back over to my boy Arm Eater and buy the Fragile Life and Greed Charms, as well as head back to the minefield. Now, I hate this area for obvious reasons, and you're about to see why. Yes, you are most likely going to explode a few times in here, and this place is very scary for players like me who are doing Steel Soul, because you can die very easily here. I also head into the Teacher's Archives, home of Monomon the Teacher, who would have guessed, where I fight my next boss, Umu, the giant jellyfish. I kind of feel like I'm making this boss anticlimactic. Umu is not a hard fight. I don't know why I said Umo. Umu is not a very hard fight at all. Just don't get hit. It's that simple. Oh, here's Quirrell. This is why Quirrell's a ghost. Because without Quirrell, you wouldn't be able to attack Umu. So, it's a very simple cycle. Don't get hit by attacks, wait for Quirrell to hit Umu, and finish the job. There we go. Ta-da! Umu is defeated. With the defeat of Umu, I head over to the Kingdom's Edge to go talk to Nail Master Oto. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Now, there is something very important I'd like to say right now. It's not important yet as it doesn't come into play, but it will be very important later on. There's a reason I didn't kill Monomon the Teacher when I was there, and it's because I didn't want the crossroads to be infected. I'm saying this now because later on there was an error with my recording software. It didn't record any of the progress that I made when I eventually did kill Monomon the Teacher and the other two dreamers, Herod the Beast and Lurien the Watcher. This also did not save the Watcher Knight boss fight, which was very unfortunate, as well as the 5 dream bosses. They weren't here, and it's very irritating that that happened. But I just want to let you know this now before I go into more explanation later. And yes, Nail Master Oto time. Oh, sorry, bench first. Now it's Nail Master Oto time. Oh, it's Oro, not Oto. And with 800 Geo, you can learn the final nail art, the Dash Slash. I save Pierogi, because of course I do. If you don't save Pierogi, you're a monster. And then head back up to Sly, buy a Vessel Fragment, because I need to buy it. And then buy Heavy Blow, because it sucks. And I do a little skip right here. Now, I'm not supposed to be able to get to this area until I get the double jump, but I reach the top of Hallownest's crown and get a Pale Ore. The skip isn't super game-changing, it just allows me a Pale Ore early on. After sick parkour segments later, I get my upgrade to Desolate Dive. Descending Dark. Elder Who. Yeah, I don't think anyone cares about this fight, honestly. I mean, it's Elder Who, so... Bomboclat! Does that not sound like what he says? Or is that just me? I think it might just be me. I need to stop watching reels. I have a very brain-rotted mind right now. Hello, Seer. Give me my Pale Ore, please. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, check out this cool skip that I did. It has no skill whatsoever, but I felt really special doing it. So now you get to see me feel special doing it. With my newly upgraded nail yet again, I purchase a toll for a new bench and prepare myself. I kill these stupid things, stupid things, stupid things, stupid things, and fight my next boss fight, the Broken Vessel. Now, the Broken Vessel is one of the easiest fights in the game, in my opinion. You can really quickly kill him, and I'm gonna be completely honest, the footage you're seeing right now, barely edited. That's not a joke. He really just dies this fast. Watch. And there he goes, right there. It's like barely edited, I promise you. Like, it was that fast. Descending Dark is very good. He's also very weak. R.I.P. Broken Vessel. You will not be missed. Mwah. With the Broken Vessel's defeat, I get my next upgrade to movement being the Monarch Wings, which, in case you don't know, acts as a double jump. I head down to Deep Nest and get another Mask Shard, as well as talk to Cornifer to get another map. Stupid. Deep Nest. I eventually make my way down to a hot spring, or whatever this area is, and I feel very relaxed here. It's soothing. Of course it is. I head on over to my next boss fight, though, for another Pale Ore piece. This boss, of course, being none other than the man himself. Me. Myself? Maybe I. No. This doppelganger's known as Nosk, and I don't know why I gave him such a dramatic and stupid intro. It's Nosk. There's not much to say here. It's a very fun fight. I do like the concept of a very terrifying looking doppelganger spider thing, but at the same time, he's very easy to cheese. If you stand by the parts where he runs by, he won't be able to hit you. Not like that, however. That's just me being bad at the game. After expertly dodging some more dashes, and him missing a jump or two, this fight really drags on, doesn't it? I mean, yeah. Die! Die! End your existence, thank you. Your free warranty of breathing is mine. And I decided to play volleyball with his head, because if you don't do that, you obviously don't know you can. I reap my rewards from defeating Nosk and collect another piece of Pale Ore, one step closer to a maxed out nail. I also decide to save Zote. I don't know how he got here, but he's safe now, and that's all that matters. The scenery begins to drastically change the deeper I go into Deep Nest. It's more spiky, webby, and covered with all these dumb little spiders that I really learned to just despise. Oh, check this out, too. Someone had to put that there on purpose. You know, I hope you realize that. Someone in Team Cherry decided, I'm gonna put a spike there. We eventually stumble upon the Distant Village, a forgotten and eerie spot in Deep Nest, as well as meet these really nice people. I think they want to have a party with me, so I'm just doing the nicest thing to do in this situation and sit down and, I guess have a chat with them. They're not very talkative. I think the party's gonna be wild. I don't really know what they're doing here. I woke up bound to a spider web somehow. That party must have been real wild, because I have no clue how I managed to get in here in the Beast's Den. Why is it called the Beast's Den, you might ask? There's your answer. These things are very aggravating, you know. For that reason right there. Yep, you see that? Eventually, though, I do explore deep enough to encounter, you would have guessed, Hera the Beast. The owner of the den. Crazy, right? I mean, I don't even know what I'm yapping about anymore. I'm just killing someone in their sleep. It's kind of morbid, isn't it? Like, oh, nope, I don't have time to talk about it, because she's just kind of dead. Sleep well forever. And that marks the first of the 3 dreamers. After exiting the Distant Village, we run into Midwife. I'm 100% sure that she's very lore important. She probably has a really cool story. I don't know that though, because she's tried to eat me. Leaving Cassandra in a hole to starve, I go to the Colosseum of Fools and challenge the first. Challenge? Whatever. It's battle time. Now, the Colosseum of Fools is probably one of my favorite parts of this game. It's very interesting and it's just amazing to watch. Like, you have to admit, there's so much detail that was put into this area. The music, the challenge in it, it's all super great. I really like it. Team Cherry, you did a good time. You did a good job on this. You did a good job on anything, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. Roly-polies. Yep. That's a part of your time you'll never get back. The satisfaction of killing primal aspids will never be beaten by anything else. Eventually, though, we get to the bosses. Gruzmothers. There's 2 of these things now, but unlike the one that we fought in the Forgotten Crossroads, they don't spawn children. They just kind of die. And with that, our first Colosseum is finished. Wait, what? I forgot about this. What you're about to witness is one of the hardest fights I've ever had. Zote the Mighty. Zote is not a boss to be trifled with. He's powerful, he's fast, and he's dangerous. I highly recommend you train extensively to combat him. Look at this. Excellent acrobatics. You know, he only did that to let me win. He easily would have killed me if he wanted to. He doesn't need the riches, he doesn't need the fame. For all of the world and all of Hallownest already knows his name. As Zote the Mighty should not be taken lightly, or your death will be swift upon his blade. I also get ready to fight Hornet in Sentinel mode. Yep, there it is. Now, this fight is a lot harder than the first one, because she's got much more range, she's faster, and of course she's got more health, as well as a new attack. 2 new attacks to be exact. A parry, and this weird one where she summons little silk strings with balls of spikes on them. I don't see why people struggle with it. They're pretty easy to get rid of, but they can be very annoying if they build up. Oh, there they are. Look at that. See? Yeah, that's annoying, right? I mean, you didn't get to see too much of it, because, I mean, I won, so... Yep. And I also collect the King's Brand, a very important piece of the puzzle to becoming the Hollow Knight. Taking the King's Brand, I head back over to the Ancient Basin and go down to that locked door I wasn't able to get to earlier. I decided to get the Abyss Shriek at the bottom of the Abyss and also get Shade Cloak. An excellent movement accessory. I head back up to the Elegant Key room in the Soul Sanctum as I completely forgot to do it earlier. Who would have guessed? A Soul Warrior. Now this one on the other hand, unlike the others, no, he dies all the same. And with that, I get my next and final upgrade to my spells, Shade Soul. I feel it's important to note right now that even though I am in the Colosseum of Fools, from here on out there might be a few strange noises, which you might have just heard then. It's because at this part of recording, I was on a Discord call with my friend. I had no clue that he could be heard on the camera or like whatever I was streaming on, so yeah. You might hear random little words or voices every once in a while, and that's him. So, ignore him, he's fine. He's pretty chill. And now it's boss fight time, the Oblobbles. These guys aren't hard. They can do a lot of damage though if you get too close to them. That little rapid fire minigun sort of attack can really knock you out. But with all the money and my final bit of pale ore, I head on over to, you guessed it. Hold on, I said that too early. The Nailsmith. The final upgrade. I take a big turn and I head into the Hive. A really beautiful part of Hallownest in my opinion. A very interesting one as well. I've always seen the Hive as like some sort of ancient library for some reason. I mean, you can see the books in the background, or I could just be crazy. Whichever one works. But this is also when I encounter our next boss fight, the Hive Knight. He's not hard. And if you struggled with him, I wouldn't be surprised if he killed you on his first try. He did too. Whenever I first fought him in my first playthrough. But again, you can easily chase him. Just jump and don't die. That's all it takes. And yeah, there you go. There, he's dead. So, the Hive Knight is defeated, and I'm able to get my next charm, Hive Blood. With Hive Blood acquired, I head over to the Queen's Gardens, and direct upgrade, in my opinion, to the Green Path. Queen's Garden has a bunch of parkour areas, enemies that kind of jump out at you, and more parkour areas. And you guessed it, more areas for enemies to jump out at you at. So, it's a lot of fighting, a lot of jumping, but it's a very beautiful area that I really enjoy playing in. Oh, that's a little jam, isn't it? A little speed up version. I like that. It's like a little, like some weird Donkey Kong jungle theme. I'm weird, aren't I? This is also when I decide to fight our next spirit warrior, Marmu, whose attacks is the equivalent of a volleyball. It only hurts if you get hit in the face by it at 90 miles an hour.
Hey, I killed 117 challenge.
I passed by this Shade Gate that I wouldn't have been able to pass by otherwise without Shade Cloak, and kill some of these little Mantis traders. And eventually get to the big guy himself, which is not here, but almost here. This is also whenever I was really confused, as I always thought that Cloth was supposed to die here. Usually in this fight, Cloth will jump down and kill some of the little Mantises. The Mantis Lord's pretty easy fight. He's basically just a tutorial for Shade Cloak. A bunch of jumping, stupid waves of white power later, and he's dead. Has very powerful kill potential with 2 masks of damage per hit, and very fast attacking power, but as long as you time your attacks and dodges right, you'll be fine. Man. I say hello to my mother. Hello, mother. You have a gift for me? Was it my birthday present? A little 100,000 years too late. But I obtain 1/2 of the white fragment. I also decided to pay a visit to the Grey Mourner, a little secret lady on the side who wants to give a rose to the tomb of her dead lover, which I gladly do on my first attempt. I do it flawlessly. I didn't fail, not once. And with that rose, delicate flower, whatever it's called, delivered to the tombstone, she can finally be at rest. And so can the Grey Mourner. She too can end. And as a reward, I get a mask fragment. Very emotional side quest, but one that I really enjoy. I head back to the Howling Cliffs to fight Gorb. Now, Gorb is very unique because Gorbity Gorb. And just like that, Gorb is defeated. Decided to fight the least favorite spirit warrior, Markoth. Why does Markoth suck? Shield. He sucks because of his shield. His stinking shield. His shield some more. And just a little extra shield. I'm glad I killed him though. He deserves to die. I hate him, and you do too. Don't act like you don't. And with all sorts of health health increases later, I head to the White Palace. A very dangerous place in this Steel Soul playthrough for one simple reason. You can die here. Despite the fact this is technically a dream sequence, dying here does end your Steel Soul playthrough. So, you know, a lot of parkour, 50 zillion buzzsaws for whatever the reason, and immense danger doesn't really, you know, bode too well for people with one life, which is why I have Hive Blood and way too many of those little blue hearts. I don't know what they're called. You can tank this guy. He's not a boss. I don't even know what this guy's called, but he's not a boss at all. Don't say he is. He's not. Eventually can actually begin the Buzzsaw Panic and start doing the little parkour segments. You see, a little simple jump there, and my parkour skills really show here. I finally turn on the lighthouse and can continue on to the second half of this challenge, an even easier puzzle in my opinion. I get to the top, where I find the husk of my father, the Pale King. And what better way to meet his dead body than to smack him out of his throne and steal the other half of the King's Soul charm, which, a very disappointing charm. Going down into the abyss, I can find a little secret area, one that is pretty cool. It only opens up whenever you have the King's Soul equipped, and exploring it allows me to see the siblings and the countless bones of said siblings. I eventually find this room of an arcane egg. In my reflection, it's still me, and I can finally hit it to obtain the Void Heart. Now, what I'm doing right now is preparing to fight Nightmare King Grim. Now, I feel like it's really important to let you know that I've only ever beaten Nightmare King Grim once. And that was on my first attempt in my first playthrough of the game, not in Steel Soul. It took me dozens of attempts, and I'm not even exaggerating on that. It was an incredibly hard fight, if not one of the hardest fights in this game. Nightmare King Grim has all sorts of powerful attacks, does 2 masks every time, and is incredibly upgraded in this one. If I was gonna go deathless, this was the part that scared me the most because I, of course, struggled with him. I didn't have time to practice because, well, that'd be too easy, and it kind of defeat the purpose of this challenge. So, what you're about to see is an unedited footage of me fighting Nightmare King Grim without dying a single time, without practice, and without any other strategy besides hope. It'll be completely unedited, as I mentioned. There will be no cuts. This is my first attempt, and you're going to see it incomplete. truth, I guess? From here on out, I'll probably go silent so you can get the full feel of what I felt this whole time. And just like that, Nightmare King Grim was done, defeated, finished, and I didn't know how to feel about it. I mean, I felt amazing. I beat a boss that I didn't even think I'd be able to get to, and I did it on my first attempt, so why didn't I feel satiated? Nightmare King Grim was the only thing that I really feared this challenge. I really struggle with him. He's incredibly hard, and I was done. I beat him. So now what do I do? Well, now that I have the blood of a god on my hands, I want more. My thirst for more blood hasn't been quenched, and I want to be satiated, and that is what I will be now. The Trial of a Fool. Now, it holds up to the title, for only a fool would dare challenge it. And that, of course, is what I am. I felt pretty prideful, though. I defeated Nightmare King Grim. There was nothing left for me to fear. I was ready. I was just ready to rule the world and kill everything that stood in my way. And there was nothing left to worry about. I killed 2 of these guys, another brooding Malek, and eventually, after a little bit more fighting, a little bit more killing of these simple, pathetic creatures, I challenge, or I suppose am challenged by, the ultimate fool. They're not a fool for winning, but a fool for daring to challenge me. The God Tamer. Unaware that I am a God Slayer. Yeah, that sounded awful, I know it did. But the fight was pretty easy. I mean, the Colosseum, very simple. Trial of the Fool, really simple. The only hard part about the Trial of the Fool is getting to the God Tamer. And now that the God Tamer's done, I can leave it behind. I don't need to be here anymore. But I want more. More blood of gods. I go to the only place where that exact thing can be found oh so easily. The Junk Pit. The home of the Pantheon.
Dodega, o sansa da bravo.
For those of you who don't know who the Pantheon is, who, I suppose what Pantheon is, it's a boss rush. It's a kind of just a straight line of every single boss that we've fought so far, besides Nightmare King Grim, of course. Now, it's very easy. And a lot of these bosses you've already seen me kill, which is why I won't show them all. You've seen me kill all these guys, so why would I bother showing you all again? So, as expected, being super overpowered for early game bosses, it ends up like this. This is whenever I fight the Nail Masters. Nail Master Oro, and soon to also be Nail Master Mato. Now, the Nail Masters are very unique. There hasn't been a boss like them at all. They are very choreographed, but you also have to really pay attention to that. If you don't, and you don't understand their patterns, they're gonna get you really good. And now it's time for the double team. Very useful tip that I'd advise everybody know is that the brothers seem to attack in turns. If one's attacking, the other usually stands still. If they both jump at the same time, don't stand underneath them or in the middle, because of course that's just a dumb thing to do. And they always swing in your direction. If they jump up at you, go left or right, depending on what way you were facing. And simple as that, you'll be over pretty quickly. The fight's over really quickly, and I do the only thing that you better do, and bow in respect to my teachers.
Dodega, o sansa da bravo.
As you could have guessed, our next Nail Master is Nail Master Shio, or I suppose Paint Master now. Now, Paint Master Shio is a much bigger step in difficulty to his brothers. You really need to pay attention to his attacks because he's got way too many of them. A lot of them are long-ranged and, well, yeah, they're long-range. He can get you close range and long range, sometimes simultaneously. So you really have to watch what he's doing, watch his attacks. But if you do, and you get his patterns down, I have no doubt that you'll be able to finish him off really quickly. Use your spells wisely, your heals even wiser, and sooner or later, he should be done and defeated. So you can move on to your next Nail Master.
Bum.
And you better bow in respect. He deserves it.
Nada Viskalak.
Our next Nail Master, or I suppose Great Nail Sage, is Sly. Now, Sly is a huge, huge step up from all of the Nail Masters. He's fast, can sometimes hit like a truck if you're not careful, and you really have to understand his patterns. If you don't, then you're kind of screwed. He can delete you in more than a second if you're low on health, so it's always a recommended thing to heal up before fighting him. I'm able to knock him into his second stage. Now this is where the fight is usually supposed to pick up incredibly. I mean, watch this tomfoolery. He dashes around and cyclone spins at you. Now, the only reason I'm not dodging is because I know I have enough health to face tank this damage. Now, I don't recommend doing this, but if you have enough health and you have a lot of damage, you should. And of course, you should bow. Earlier I mentioned that there was an error in recording when I fought the Watcher Knights and Dream bosses. This is really bad because it meant I didn't have proof of my deathless run, as Dream fights don't count as deaths. So, I will show you unedited footage of all said bosses for proof. That are the Dream bosses and the Watcher Knights. You will see them all unedited entirely. As everything is technically unedited, it lasts a lot longer than it should. If you want, I recommend skipping to 1 hour and 16 minutes to get to the Pure Vessel fight, because that's something I haven't seen or fought either. All these guys I have fought, this is simply for proof to show you all that I am not bad at this game and know I know how to kill them. All of the upgrades are the exact same. Whenever I did fight them, I had this amount of health, I had the same charms, and the same nail upgrade. So I can assure you what you're seeing here is what you saw then. The only one that's slightly different are the Watcher Knights, and for some reason I struggled with them more here, which was kind of embarrassing to say. But yes, I highly recommend you skip to 116 unless you do want to watch all of this, which I wouldn't be appalled to. Similar to NKG, this is a challenging fight, and I want you to watch it unedited. I had no practice, no chances, and this boss too took me dozens and dozens of attempts on my first try. Now, he takes a huge step from the Hollow Knight counterpart that you inevitably fight at the end of the game. He's a lot more tanky, does way more damage, and has a lot more attacks. I did some math though. If you have the full maxed out nail, as well as the strength charm, you only have to hit the Hollow Knight, or I suppose in this instance, the Pure Vessel, 46.5-ish times. It's not an exact number, but it's the closest one that I have. You really need to take advantage of healing intervals in this fight. You don't get many of them, and each one counts so unbelievably much. You really want to understand timing, and you need quick focus if you think you need to heal in this fight. If you don't have quick focus and you try to heal, there are a lot less chances for that to be able to happen. Another large threat that comes with fighting the Pure Vessel is you really have to be up close and personal to see some of his attacks charging up. If you don't, you might get caught off guard, and that's a whole nother can of worms that you probably already know is bad. These are the healing intervals that I mentioned, and just like that, the Pure Vessel was defeated. Like Nightmare King Grim on my very first attempt. Without practice at all. This is the part where I realized that my journey was coming to an end. There wasn't much left for me here. I had beaten every boss, collected all the things that I needed to. Completely forgot to show y'all Grubfather. Sorry about that. So, with my final moments still in Hollownest before I decide to seal my fate as a vessel, I go around. I say hello to people I used to know, goodbye at the same time. I pay respect to those who helped me, and I see the good that came with my actions. I give comfort to those who need it, and say goodbyes to those who deserve it. I say goodbye to those who helped me along this journey in more ways than any other could. And it was time. Time for the final fight. There's no turning back from it now. Whatever happens right now happens for good. I wasn't scared. I've After all, I've already beaten him. Beaten him in his harder form, too. So why would I be afraid of a weaker version? I'm not. And I begin to fight my brother, the Hollow Knight. I have no tips for this. You've already seen this. You've seen it quicker, you've seen it faster, more dangerous, but not with the same level of pain. Not at all, not anywhere close. Hollow Knight, twisted, broken at the mind, the body. Trying to free himself from a torment that he didn't interpret. He's not like me. He feels things. He has a voice to cry out. He has a will to break. But I don't. That's what made me me. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for the good of the world. I don't care about that. I'm doing this because I deserve it. Because my whole life, I've fought for this. Not to just be a vessel. Not anymore. I'm gonna be more than that. I'm tired of being hollow. So I won't be any longer. I'll claim what I deserve and seal what deserves to be sealed. No. If you're even still here, I'm not gonna end it off like that. I'm not gonna get the ending that I need. I worked too hard for that. Worked too hard to just throw it away. So instead, I'm gonna give you the ending you want. Not the ending that I need. I'm gonna challenge the sun itself. The Radiance. The Radiance, similarly to the White Palace, despite being considered a dream boss, there's no going back if you die here. Now, the Radiance is different. There hasn't been a single boss like her, not one. And that's what's so threatening about her. She does 2 hits of damage. She attacks constantly. Any wrong move is all it takes for you to fail this fight. And unlike the Pure Vessel, unlike Nightmare King Grim, I've only fought her once. And that time that I fought her, I failed. I never succeeded in that. So this isn't just any fight with the Radiance. This is my only fight with the Radiance. This is the fight. One that I've never had. One that I've never really seen. One that you get to watch in all of its intense, terrifying glory. You get to be in the front row seat of something that I've never done before. There's not much for me left to say here. So just watch. Watch as the adrenaline pumps through my veins. The excitement and the sweet taste of victory. And a fall. And just like that, it was finished. The journey, the pain, all sorts of things that happened, all came down to this moment right here. And now it comes to an end.